Hello everyone, welcome to another Leetcode video. Today we're looking at the problem find maximal removals from a source string, which is question 3 in Biweekly contest 141. So the question reads that we're given a string source of size n, a string pattern that is a subsequence of source, and a sorted integer array target indices that contains distinct numbers in the range 0 to n-1. We define an operation as removing a character at index idx from the source such that the index is a target of target indices, and when we remove it, the pattern remains a subsequence of the source. We want to return the maximum number of operations that we can perform with these operations. So looking at this example, we have the source a, b, b, a, a, the pattern a, b, a, which is a subsequence of source, and we also have target indices 0, 1, 2. And we can do at most one operation. So we can't remove source 0, because if we do that, there's no way that we can keep pattern as a subsequence of source, but we can remove either source 1, this first b, or source 2, the second b, to get one operation. So let's look a bit closer and see exactly how we could solve this. So this question can be solved with dynamic programming, and the way that you can think of this question and how it relates to dynamic programming is that there are certain conditions where we have to make a choice. And I always say in my videos that whenever you have to make a choice, dynamic programming is a really good way to go because you can try out all the different choices and pick whatever is the most efficient. So let's kind of think about the different situations and conditions that can happen in this problem. So say we have this first condition where whatever source element we're looking at and whatever pattern element we're looking at are the same. We see those are both A's, and this is removable because source 0 is in target indices. Well, here we have to make a choice. This is a choice here. We could either remove it, and if we remove it, we gain 1 because we're performing one operation, but we know that since we're removing this, it doesn't satisfy this subsequence here. If we're removing this A, we don't know if there's going to be another A later, right? So we also have to try not removing it. And not removing it, we don't get that score because we don't remove this, but we know that our subsequence is satisfied. And the choices there and how we reflect are is if we remove it, then we can move this index up by 1 because we've removed this. Now we're considering the next element, but we do not move this pattern index up because we still have to find another A to satisfy this pattern. On the other hand, if we don't remove it, we still want to move to the next element here in our source, but we know that since we didn't remove the A, we also satisfied this A here, so we can move this up to B. So this is this condition where they are the same and this is removable. The other condition is where they're the same but they are not removable. So let's say we're here. We're at A and A. And we see that this is not removable because this is index 3 and this is not in our target indices. So here we can't really do anything. It's not removable. And what we do is we just don't remove it, right? So they are equal, but we can't remove it. So what we do is we say, all right, we can't remove it, so we can move this up. But because this is the same as in pattern, we know that it satisfies that condition as well. So we can move our pointer here up by 1. So that's the second condition we have to think about. And the third is if they're just not equal. So say we're on this B and we're on this A here. Well, in this case, we can make a choice, right? We can remove this, and if we do that, we move this up by 1, but we don't move this, right? Because this was never going to satisfy our subsequence in the first place, right? They were never equal, so we can remove this, but we just move this index up by 1, and we do not move this one up. We could also just not remove it, which is the same thing. We just move this up by 1 and don't add any score, but we also don't move this because they still aren't equal. And this here is another choice, right? We're making another choice here, whether to remove it or not to remove that element. And really what we're doing in the code is we're going to break down all these different choices, and you'll see exactly how that works. It kind of is pretty similar to what I just described. We're going to have multiple if statements that handle all these different situations. But one complication is that it's possible that we have some edge cases here to think about. So we're going to end when our pointer gets to the end here, right? If we're past this boundary, we've gone through every element in our source, then we know that we're at the end. But it's possible that our pattern index might only be here, right? And what does this mean? Well, this means that we've probably removed some elements that make this source string, or rather this pattern string, no longer a subsequence of source, right? So when we get to the end, we have to check if pattern index is at the end. And if it's not at the end, then we just have to return some very small value, for example, infinity. And we do this because it means we've removed some combination of elements from our source that make pattern no longer a subsequence of source. And this we know is invalid. It must always remain a subsequence. So we do this extra check at the end as well. Another edge case is that when we're processing our source, we might just get to the end here. What if we've already seen the entire subsequence in source, and this is kind of a different edge case? Well, what do we do here? Well, in this case, as long as this whatever element we're looking at is removable, right, we should just remove it, because we know that there's no further constraints. Like, for example, we've seen our whole pattern. So if we see anything that's removable, we know that there's no danger in making our subsequence invalid, so we can just always remove this as well. So the other condition is that we check if pattern is passed. And in this case, we can just always remove our elements, right? Because we know that our subsequence will be satisfied. So this is the general logic, and we can do this in O of n times n time, where n is the length of our source and pattern is the length of our pattern. So we're really just going through each combination of source and pattern index at most one time, and we're going to memoize these in order to make sure that we reuse any intermediate values that we get. So this is a little confusing. There's a lot of things to think about, but I think when you actually get into the code, it will make a lot more sense. So let's look at that now. So the first thing I do here is I'm just going to make my target indices into a set, just so it's a little bit easier to look up in constant time. Then we're going to make our recursive function, and this is going to take two arguments: our source index, which is wherever we're looking at in the source, and our pattern index, which is wherever we're looking at in the pattern. So these are our edge cases here that I talked about before. So if we get to the end of our source, we want to check if we still have some pattern left to go. So if our pattern index is less than the length of the pattern, it means we have gotten to the end of the source, but our pattern is no longer a subsequence of that source. So in this case, we're going to return negative infinity because it means that this is an invalid subsequence. Otherwise, we return 0, and this just means that there's no more work for us to do. We've reached the end of our source, so we just return 0. The other condition is that if our pattern index is greater than the length of the pattern. In this case, what we're saying is, as long as this element is removable, we'll just remove it. That's what this is doing. It's saying if it's removable, we'll have 1, if not 0. Then we'll add that to the result of just moving our source index up by 1. So here's where the actual work starts. So we're going to start with our answer as negative infinity, and then we're going to outline our cases. So this is the case where whatever we're looking at in the source and the pattern are equal. So if they're equal and this element in the source is removable, this is where we make our choice. So we could either take the max of whatever our current answer is, or we can remove it. And remember that if we remove it, it does not count towards our pattern subsequence, so we cannot move this up. And in the other cases, we don't remove it. And in this case, we don't gain that 1 score, but it counts to our subsequence, so we can move both indices up by 1. If it's not removable, it means that it counts towards our subsequence and we have no choice but to just use it and leave it there. So we take the max of our answer and whatever the result of moving both indices up by 1 is. Then the other case is that these are not equal. And if they are not equal, well, we can remove it because we know it doesn't really matter in the context of our subsequence. And then since it doesn't count for our subsequence, we move the source index up by 1, but we leave the pattern index the same. Then finally, we return our answer at the end. And when we call a recursive function, we need to do a check for the infinity. So we're just going to call a recursive function here. And if the answer we get back is negative infinity, this means that we never actually found a valid way to remove any of these elements, right? They were all invalid and we didn't find any possible ways. So in this case, we just return 0 because for this question, rather than having a negative infinity answer, we'll just say we couldn't remove anything being 0. And if that's not the case, it means we did find some way to remove some elements, so we return that max answer, whatever that is. So let's submit and make sure that it works. And it does work. So hopefully this is helpful. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.